I have not been keeping these timestamps down to a minute or two tops, but I do need to still review because I didn't actually do any before recording review anyway, which would have been great, but it's fine. That being said, I don't have. Do I have Rain Punk? I do have Rain Punk, so it would be interesting to do that. But we are dealing with a seal? Question mark? Yes. So we're doing our best because the seal is here. And if I mention anything about reputation still matters because you want to unlock blueprints. But you got to do the seal, and we have not done that. So yeah, let's get started in a moment. I'm gonna mute to cough frequently. But without further ado, I mean, we might be cutting into more glades, but I guess we'll see about that. We don't have any fertile soil yet. But even if I did, I'd be making roots and herbs. This is for mushrooms too, right? Yeah, it is. So that would be interesting. Does that mean there are mushrooms? I mean, there are somewhere. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, so I guess porridge production increases by +1 for drizzle water, and porridge uses any kind of water, but that's if I end up making any porridge at all, which would mainly be for foxes. So yeah, you know what? Let's take Fungal Guide. I would take Lost in the Wilds. That's a safer pick, but I'm just gonna play a bit not safe, and we're just gonna take the most villagers here, and away we go. We are grabbing more villagers, but we need them anyway. So yeah. And I think we'll throw the lizard there. So for the moment, we're sitting on 5 free people, but we don't really have any other nodes. We don't have 2-star fishing. We do have this though, which I get. Oh nope, I cannot. So instead, we do that. Just a quick little look over our negative mystery. So we do need housing. What else do we need? Services in about 1 or 2 more years, which is kind of important. That being said, I also need to be making a thing, if possible. Yeah, I need to be making provisions. So, because we probably are going to go for the trade route, which means I should be just selling things now. But the problem is that we don't have a lot to do. Let's see here. I'm going to gamble on these. I mean, essentially, we're going to be gambling regardless, but let's just start selling so we can get the... If for no other reason than to get the trade routes up. That does cut into my food production, but... Hey. Things. Also, from time to time... I couldn't turn on my microphone again. From time to time... No, we don't have any fabric. From time to time, I keep forgetting that, yeah, impatience does lower hostility, but... What are we doing here? We need housing for beavers. So let's take care of that really quickly. We only need 1. We probably need more still, but we'll see. And then we do have I do end up usually getting a bunch of wood left, right, and center, but yeah, I just end up never making that many planks. That being said, I should just make more planks. And if you get another woodcutter's prayer, sadness. I think you can get copies of that with which they stack. But essentially, still, next year we're planning to probably cut into this dangerous glade. There's a lot of abyssal trees to go through, but that's on me. In fact, I could after this gets made here, I should probably have more beavers working on the thing. I have to remind myself because, yeah, if you haven't already heard me mention, if you haven't already, if I can not slur my words, talked about alpha gameplay. 1, your goods do take effect. They just have half the max possible bonus, which is +8, so they can go to +4. And you can control consumption, obviously, but if you don't have consumption control for whatever reason, I should actually do that really quickly. Yeah, if you don't have consumption control, what ends up happening is that you just end up losing your good items, your goods and services items. And the second thing is that foxes have a new cooperation trait, where if you put 3 or you fill up a work building with all foxes, they get a resolve boost. But that doesn't happen here because, well, it doesn't happen here. That being said, Yeah, I was making training gear just to make training gear. It's good to make. There are some events that would ask for it, although we run out of copper bars, so I should actually consider making pipes instead. Yeah, because now we have a granary here. Do we still have enough to make more pipes? I'm going to turn this off then. No, we don't. I should probably consider... No, I'd have to cancel them both. And we are still making 5. Yeah, this fox is delivering 5, sorry. So you know what? Let's get to 4 pipes. If possible. Did it? Or am I going crazy? Yeah. We should be fine. So we're going to do that. And we're going to put this other lizard here just for the resolve primarily. But we want to essentially enable pipes here because we will probably need it. We don't have any containers, so toss that out for the moment. We also have a better source of fabric, so I don't know why I'm using that. But it's too late because we've already burnt it. And then packs of crops, but no. So basically this building is not going to be active at all. So instead, we are going to do this. Are we doing the thing? We are, right? Just making sure as we go into clearance year 5. And we do still want the rain collector. Gotta remind myself I don't have frogs yet, so bleh. And I think I've made everything. I'm just gonna free up this builder in case there's something I need to do. I mean, I could double up on the herbalist camp, but I think, well, I mean, it wouldn't be so bad. But I need to think about it. Also, clearing more space around this hearth would also help out somewhat, but not doing that. Yeah, I could make another... Yeah, you know what? So, let's actually make another one of these. If nothing else, we want to prepare this... We want to make a new path. Just for speed's sake. You don't always have to make a new path, I just choose to. But, hey. And yeah, and we are slowly getting resolved. We'll get to 4. Don't know if that's going to help me out immensely, but... because we're going to be at level 3. Resources burn 40% quicker. Do we have a kiln, by the way? We do have a kiln. So, yeah, we do want to be making those, because we're going to have an overabundance... We have an overabundance of wood, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. But anywho, yeah. And so another thing that was removed was pretty much the blight rot effect specialization, I'm pretty sure. Because foxes, again, it got replaced with cooperation. So... And then blight rot only appears if you, basically make use of rain punk in a building, which means foxes can get a can get bonus resolve, but that's something to think about. So I think we've done what we can here. I'll think about putting pipes here. I definitely want to make use of the drizzle water we have, unless, I mean, well, yeah, anywho. And I keep forgetting that now we don't have a thing. I mean, while we have it, I guess I might as well. We can't make all of them. Wow, we really can't even do that. So we'll do that. Again, overall, you're gonna get your ambers worth. Yeah, might as well just do that. Ouch, my food, but we gotta do something. Do I actually want to put some in the kiln instead? No, probably not. Is my thought process. We'll accept this order at the very end. They need to really cut through... I mean, I could just cut the small ones, but these are small. But yeah, these are small. Mine has no ore, so there goes all that. I mean, I can just leave them in there for the resolve for the moment, but... We'll see. It's not like I can really use... Well... I can use another woodcutter's camp to cut faster. You know what? If nothing else, we're going to lose a few villagers in this upcoming storm, but not really much I can do about that. Otherwise, I just want to leave some... I want to leave some builders available because what's going to happen is I'm going to end up losing a bunch of villagers during this upcoming storm. Keeping in mind, I still need to do some of these, but... we don't have enough blight rot being built. We are going to get another malady, but until I see it, there's no point. Also, I realized I did not make the beacon tower yet. We should actually make that somewhere. So yeah. We actually need to prioritize this. We will be running a bit lower on wildfire essence, but that's fine. Funny enough, I eventually want to move this hearth over here, if possible. But it's not the largest distance. Now, when we if and when we cut into a forbidden glade like this, I definitely want to move this hearth. But for the moment, so we did get resolve. We also want to turn off the favoring, but let me see here. So luxury good. I'm looking over at the right. Also harmony stuff. Can't really make use of oil because we have roots and herbs instead. We can turn the roots into flour. But we're really looking for pickled goods, and we didn't get any. That makes me a little sad. Do we actually do a thing? Let me see if I can make one of these. I can't. Wow, alright. Funny. I could get more efficient planks, but do I really want to do that? What's this? Carpenter giving me tools if I so choose. Actually, that's quite important. We can also already make luxury goods, so I just wasn't making them. Whoops. But now we need another mine before I even consider doing that. So you know what? We're gonna reroll here. Yeah. This is a 2. Is this a 2-star? It is. So we need to use it now. Yeah. The other ones are actually, you know, making packs of provisions would be quite useful, but I need this fishing hut now. And if we cut into another glade and we get another 2-star fishing hut, I mean, we have a bunch of ponds as well, but 2 stars, if we have 2 stars, I think that justifies taking the upgrade. If it doesn't, well, guess I'll find out in due time. Let's see here. Yeah, we do this. But we're gonna prioritize that, and yeah, we'll leave these woodcutters here for the moment. Again, I think in this storm I'm about to lose some of everyone, so we'll do our best to survive. Thankfully, again, we're just on Viceroy, we're not on Prestige yet. I'll basically push myself to Prestige in this save file when the game asks me to, because we will need to at some point. All the way to the end, because obviously I've seen a bit of what, not the end game, but I know what is coming in the long future, basically. That being said, that does not mean I am prepared to play on Prestige 11 plus to up to 20 even. So hey. So what are we doing? -5 to global resolve, and yep, we're gonna be losing people left and right. So the lizards maybe not, because their lizards are very resilient. Foxes and beavers, on the other hand, pain. I could use the a tower bell here for having people leave. You know what? I'm gonna do it. So with that, we should only lose 1 at most, but we'll see, I guess. And away we go. I think we still lose 1. I think that's just how it's balanced, oddly, as odd as that sounds to say. And let's actually, so once they finish doing that, we are going to remove this. So, boink. Does that remove the thingies too? Anywho. Let's toss people into there. Into this fishing hut. And we'll move on. We'll accept this order that we are holding on to. Resources burning. We have housing and just the normal looming darkness. What are we sitting on here? A bunch of salt. Can we make that? Yes, we can. We can also sell the ancient tablet. Yeah, we can sell the ancient tablet. If something asks for an ancient tablet, I'm gonna be quite. Never mind. We don't have the provisions for it. So just making sure. Do we just want to work on a trade route we have? Probably. Because you never know. Maybe we might need. I mean, there are a lot of events that use a bunch of stuff, but we're just going to trade off our clay now. Maybe we get a clay pit. Don't know if that's going to happen, but hey. We're also sitting on a bunch of sea marrow, but hey, that too. But anywho. So we're going to keep cutting into this. I didn't push it up against it, but that's fine. Yeah, 1 free builder. I like this for the moment. If we do lose villagers, we're about to get newcomers anyway. I think we're gonna get more than 6, but I guess we'll find out when it happens. And then, yeah, we only have 1 cyst at the moment. And we will need, yeah, this will run out within the next, in year 6, that bush will be completed. So, we do need to cut into this dangerous glade. And then I wanted to cut into this forbidden one, but hey, we'll see. Doubles the amount of secondary resources gathered from trees, yeah, so we're doing a lot of stuff. So we didn't lose anyone. Good to know. Villager speed. Considering we're not gonna... This is our safe pick. Calming the forest is our risky pick. I'm gonna go for it. And then what do we get? 2 parts, planks. But we actually do need more lizards. Unless I just don't want to push lizards, but we're gonna take lizards. And we're gonna do this. For no other reason than hay. And yeah, we don't really have anything. We don't have flour. So basically we have 3 more builders than expected, but not much I can do about that at the moment. So we're about to get 12 amber, but let's see here. Ugh. The grain is nice to the grain, it would be nice to use for packs of provisions. Although you could never mind. We can say the same of the roots and herbs. Yeah, I don't know. I could go for tools instead. We will probably need to open a cache at some point. Cache. I'm going crazy. Otherwise, I could just sit on what I have too. You don't need to buy something, but let's take a quick look. So what's in this granary again? We can make goods in packs of crops. But more importantly, we would probably want pottery and stuff. We can't actually make that, so trading for that would actually be much appreciated. And unfortunately, Sahilda is not selling any of those. So, instead, the next question is, can I make boots or anything? No. No? Herb garden, yeah, we have everything we can make at the moment. And a lot of pain, so... Oh, cough away from the mic. I mean, yeah, it's not even overlap, but I don't like picking 2, especially if I had like 2 sets of fertile soil, then I would be like, okay, fine, I'm gonna use it. But and then I think vegetables I would like for the pickled goods. I don't. Yeah, never mind. We can use roots. Okay, never mind. Forget what I'm saying. We're moving on. We can't make skewers ourselves, can we? No, we can't. Just making sure though. Those screens are so helpful. I'm so glad the devs put whoever decided that. Those screens gave the details that they gave is very much appreciated. Anywho. Yeah, we're definitely going to continue using 9 woodcutters here. We do have a bunch of people just sitting around. And can we actually do anything here? Why do I feel like I can't do anything? Also, we're just eating up all of our food and stuff. That's why we're cutting into this glade. And never mind, there's a dewberry bush right here. Yeah, you know what? It's going to take a while for them to cut those trees down, so let's actually make this really quickly. I could have just moved it, but I did like just demolish the other thing. And then, you know what? While we have it, we'll just make use of this pond as well. Might as well put these people to work. We're not building anything, so hey, just making sure. So we could use some tools actually to open this up. So 3 tools. I could just break that open too. What does breaking this open give me? Trader speed increased, and then some dye for some stuff. But I think I would rather do this. So we're gonna 3, and you know what? I'll just spend 116 wood. Although I should actually just use the amber. You know what? Yeah. Otherwise, what is the point for us trading? Alternatively, I could buy this. Watch me actually need... We'll just get the tools. Yeah, and while we're sitting here, we'll have these woodcutters open this cache. Why do I feel like there's a seal there where you open caches. Oh, a seal order that you open caches in, but I forgot, so we're just going to do that now. We don't need the reputation, but... Also, I did not take this order. 14 trade routes or generate lots of water for more copper ore. Or I think we're gonna go for this one. That does mean we need to make more rain collectors. But we don't have the parts because we used them for this. Never mind. Okay, so you know what we're actually gonna... No, we need those actually. We don't need this one. So what we're actually gonna do is make another rain collector instead. Wow, I really bungled up this placement here. Wow, I really bungled up. Okay, it's fine. And we're gonna do this. So it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take even probably 2 years unless I make another rain collector during this year. But also keep in mind we don't have any other resolve. So this storm, unless I do something quickly, this storm is going to absolutely destroy us. That being said, we do have provisions to use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 25 in Ramo 2. That should push us... Will that push... Yeah, that should push us to standing 2, right? Because it's 20 amber for the second one. Also, making 2 packs of goods, but we don't have the copper ore. Tell me I didn't use all the copper ore elsewhere. I know I obviously sold training gear through the trade routes. But the trade routes are required too, because that's one of the seal orders. Obviously, I already know about it, but it would be nice. Anywho. All things considered, I probably shouldn't actually have them eating complex food, but... yeah. Keeping in mind, I think in year 6 or 7 we get hit with the Forbidden Glade event, so that's timing the seal orders would have been nice, but I guess it's not going to happen. Period. So I think we're just yeah, we won't make it. So I guess we're cutting into this glade on year 7. That's a bit late. I will be running out of resources. Unless we make use of this fishing hut. So I don't want to have to use this again. I could just cut into it now. The problem is we're probably going to be dealing with the glade event during the storm. You know what? No, we're just going to cut into this because we're just going to cut into it. Now the other question is, yeah, I need to return those. Because we did the cache. Basically every year we get a trader unless we rush them. If nothing else, obviously getting reputation also lowers impatience, but that's another worry. Curiosity, we have harmony stuff, but we don't have the cloth to make all of the harmony stuff. So rip. I could again at any point I could have cut into any of these glades instead. I probably should have. I guess that's one turning point of this settlement. I should have just cut into this dangerous glade, regardless of where we needed to go for the seal. And yeah, we're sitting on so much wood, you know. We are actually making stuff with the wood. Well, hey, things. Unfortunately, no, we're just gonna use the water because this isn't using the water. So hey. That being said, we also need we do need a blight post at some point. So yeah, what we're actually gonna do is get rid of this so we can make a blight post. That does kind of oof the beavers for a moment, but flip this around. Not that we really need to, but we're going to. And basically, all of these lizards are now going over here. They don't need to, but hey, it's not like we have harpies to make more efficient things. So yeah, this is going to be weird because I'm going to be cutting to this during the storm. I don't have any effects for the storm, right? Pretty sure I don't. And if anything else... no, not really much else to say at the moment. I do hope that cutting into this glade is somewhat intuitive for me, but again, we'll find out when we actually do it. Otherwise, as I clackety-clack, we're going to make some roads, because roads. And there's the seal. There's fertile soil, by the way, but it's a bit far from this hearth. If possible, I basically like to move this hearth here. I can. I actually want to put it here, but we have to deal with this event. And there's the need for purging fires. You know what? Also, we needed if we wanted to do this, we would have had to do a thing. But Oh, we can't. That's not. There's not even an alternative here. Well. Do you have stuff? No, he has pottery and tools. Can we even make any of these? We can't. We could make. We could have made copper bars. We don't have it though, and I don't think I'm gonna get enough. Well, I mean, we could. We may, if we make this mine. So that is probably what we're going to do. We need 2 parts to make use of that. Either I knock something down or I remove the one of the woodcutters camp. I think we're gonna do that instead because we need this desperately now. Because we're gonna try for the reputation point because we can't even make any of these unless I buy it from a merchant. But we're not gonna do that either. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Should probably put a hearth here, otherwise they have to walk a bit ways away. But then this pool's in the way. And then they have to walk to this warehouse. I'm gonna put a warehouse here anyway. But we need to. Yeah, no, we need 2 parts. Never mind, I lied. Hey, here's the 2-star root node, by the way. And yeah, off we go. So if nothing else, I should just knock one of these down. I'm just gonna knock this down. I need to place another. I need to place a warehouse here. It would really help out. So that takes priority. We're just gonna leave this hearth. Just gonna have to stay here, unless I knock it down and move it. But I don't want to do that either. So let's make use of this hearth, I guess. And we'll just cut these trees down. That's gonna be a bit of hostility, but is it gonna be? I don't need to do it that way. In fact, I don't even need to cut these trees. I just need to cut a path here. So we'll do that instead. We'll actually move them back so they're closer to the warehouse and the hearth. But more importantly, we basically just need to do this. So once we make enough copper ore, we're gonna switch this to copper or copper ingots. Copper, oh my goodness, what are they? Copper bars. And we are gonna do our best. We have scales actually, so I can actually make use of that. And in fact, we even had other copper bars, but we'll use the scales first. But we need the blight post too, because we need to make stuff. So, do we have lizards to do this? Kind of, not really. But we desperately need it, so instead, let's... Do we really have no more other lizards? We have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have another oh, hearth. Never mind. Alright, cool. I mean, we're not getting anything more, so we could just do this. And in the meanwhile... So, every 220 seconds, blight rot cysts are spawned for each hostility level, which is something we need to work on. Oops, I want to use foxes there. My mistake. Oh, eh. And I think we can just work on it now. They should be making the copper bars. I don't think I should be using any other copper bars, so let's make sure about that. This is gonna really be weird because this is gonna be happening in the middle of a storm. So, let's get this started. So. Now, I could use anything else here, but I'm just going to use wood because I have 574. In fact, I could probably make 2 carpenters and be just fine. And in fact, we should even just be making packs of building materials now that we're just kind of sitting here. So, yeah, we'll just do that really quickly. And yeah, we have been using a bunch of our berries for packs of provisions. We'll sit on 10 because I don't feel that confident. Yeah, we're only getting an extra bonus of like 0.3 amber, but hey. And yeah, I just realized we have a problem. So I guess we're going to sacrifice, because otherwise people are going to just end up dying. Never mind. That's right, hostility lowered. Wow, do we just have a bunch of people dying now? Alright, never mind, I lied. Actually, we are going to do this. But we are also gonna do... Does that even work? Action from hostility 2 because of the thingy. That's unfortunate. Is that because of the Glade event? No. It's because of something... Oh, mysteries. Plague of Mysteries. Oh, the pain. pain. People are going to be dying left and right if we don't do anything here, though, so we're going to do this. So I guess we're finally using our things for something. So rip 240 wood, but I think it's for a good cause. Because I really don't want to lose anyone at the moment. That would be counterproductive. So I guess it's a good thing I just stored all that wood, is what I'm trying to say. Even though, again, we shouldn't be sacrificing here, but I think, again, if a veteran wants to let me know if I made at least an okay decision, feel free to let me know. But anywho, yeah. So just making sure I'm calculating this right. 67 instead. So we're losing 201 wood during this storm season. And just to be safe, we're going to have it last throughout the storm season. So my wood is in a lot of pain. I think this is about to run out. But it's not like we can do much else about it. I thought we had meat production. I keep thinking of my other settlements on the alpha, but hey. Also, I'm going to be burning the sea marrow. You know what? Yeah, because I don't want to deal with this any longer than I have to. 33 sea marrow. We'll actually do 66. Or, well, that's going to be like half, so like 50. But hey, you get the point. And let's just have them work on this here. When this disappears, we'll move this over. But for the moment, we just want to open up an area around this forbidden glade. Because we're going to be putting another hearth here anyway. And then when we make a hearth here, we're going to knock this one down. Shrug. That's the end of the sentence. Even with the blight rust disappearing, yeah, we shouldn't have any worries. In fact, we keep using a bunch of wood. We shouldn't actually need any more than probably even just 3, but for the moment. Hey. Ow! My foot! My foot was on my knee, and then it scratched against my shorts, which are not the most comfortable material. But hey! So yeah, we lost a lot of wood this storm, but it's fine. Should stop. Now we have 104 wood, but hey. That's interesting. Yeah, that's also interesting. It's unfortunate that we don't have the plantation. Now I'm just kind of sitting here crying. Out of curiosity, can we even make wine? It doesn't look like we can even make wine. No, we can't. Maybe we can at some point, but... we get extra berries. There's like 15 extra berries here. Plus, so 20. I'm just going to say 20. But... thinking... I guess it could be worth it, but we'll see. They're gonna finish this soon, and I think... Oh, I still need to... Well, they'll finish it during they'll finish it during Drizzle here, which is not so bad. But what I wanted to do was use another woodcutters. Do I even have enough parts for that? Yeah, we do. So what we're gonna do, I think, instead, is woodcutter camp here. If I can move the shelter. This is gonna be the end of the video, though, so not really much else to say. This is where the video ends, but I just want to set this up so I don't forget. And then we're sitting on newcomers. So here are newcomers, but without further ado, 8 or 7 versus 6. And I guess we'll see. And these are trade routes. We don't really have anything. We have some stones, but and then we have a bunch of leather, which I probably will sell just to complete a seal step. But we'll see. And then yeah, packs of building materials will come from the wood that the planks that we're using. Packs of crops, I guess will happen next year when we do the thing. But again, that's all in review. So without further ado, this should be the end screen here. If you want to support me, subscribing, watching, or listening to the video as much as you can will also help, because that's how robots work, and the algorithm, and other stuff. Ow, I cracked a pressure point. But yeah, if you have any other way you want to support me, or if you want to comment, ask questions, give advice, I'm open to listen. Now, will I reply? I usually try to, but we'll see. So yeah, without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!